Welcome to another question and answer live upholstery. Everything about upholstery. We have a full boat here today. I'm not just by myself like we were for a little while there, but we have Jimmy, we have Michaela, and we have Patrick. And hopefully it'll be a better show as a result of that. So we're going to get to Michaela a little bit later with some new estimates, Jimmy. And Jimmy is here because he's going to be going on vacation. Are you looking for Bigfoot again? Is that your...
Yeah, Bigfoot. I heard it's back up in Maine again. It's vacationing in Maine. So that's where I'm going to go.
Because you had the idea that if you got enough Bigfoot fur, you could stuff it on him.
Yeah, I was looking forward to a wingback. Something.
Well, that'll be your next project, but I think we'll be using horsehair instead because...
Well, we'll see. I mean, this chair is a good 30 years it hasn't been touched, I believe. I was told.
Right.
So we shall see the mysteries as we uncover it.
Yeah, you never know. I found a Boy Scout patch in a chair the other day.
Really?
Rather new one, so I'm going to be returning that. And we also found recently, you guys, a bracelet, a silver bracelet, Ode to Joy by your famous Beethoven there, Jimmy. You like him, right? You listen to classical music.
Yes.
I could just see you.
Yeah, I bust at the seams. All my
Yeah.
walls of Beethoven and Mozart.
Right, and I'm sure you're a big fan. Anyhow, so what's exciting about that is that when you call the customer to say, hey, I found this in the sofa, they came right over, right, you guys? They came right over to get it because it belonged to a favorite aunt's, and they had been missing for a very long time.
Oh.
So I always think, like I tell the story about the 2 Rolex watches that I found in a sofa, and I promptly returned. But I think a story is more valuable sometimes or most of the times, I think it's true, than the actual item. So I get to talk about those 2 Rolex watches, right? And they were old ones, Jimmy.
Like what? Like early on?
They were old ones.
Okay.
And they weren't working, but that doesn't mean anything with Rolex.
No, well, I mean, things are, they could have been in the furniture for years.
They were, and they had a great monetary value, I'm sure. But
God knows how many fixing them up
But if you did the wrong thing, you couldn't talk about it. So I like talking about things.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Put them on the Upholstery on Broadway website? Yeah.
No, we would never do that. We enjoy the stories, right? So Jimmy, so let's talk a little bit about Patrick. Do you know where we are at with subscribers?
19,290 something.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems like it's taken forever to get to 20,000, Jimmy. You got to call all your friends. Tell them to subscribe.
Yeah. Well, we had a few people this week.
We haven't posted a video in 2 months. I saw it.
Well, are you talking
May.
about the Facebook forum, or are you?
Yes.
Okay, that's different, Jimmy. That's a different.
Take the number and just take ride with it, okay?
Yeah, we shot 2 videos last week.
We shot 2 videos.
I went to Maine, so I didn't get.
Were those disclaimer videos that we shot, Patrick?
Yeah, warning.
Disclaimer.
It was Jimmy's apology.
Oh yeah. Well, didn't want to bring this up, Jimmy, because it is a sensitive subject. But and you did it innocently because there are television.
You might as well go to the question on there now, Jimmy.
Yeah, you go right to that question.
Oh yeah, okay. So this is from. This is between the banter between you and I. Hillbillies. You said hillbillies is not a term we use, Jimmy.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear what you said.
This is from SG 11 days ago. This is the Upholstery show. Was it last week?
Was it last week or the week before?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So you said hillbillies is not a term we use, Jimmy. I said, what term do we use then? Meaning, what is the correct term?
I think you just say Southern people or
I don't even know.
Identify the state or the region.
What did SG say? She tried helping you out.
No,
I think
I said I laugh about it. I said I can think about the words, but I don't know.
She can think about it. Well, I was talking to you before we started because I just think it's a great time to talk about maybe some stereotypes that are still sticking with us, really, and that's one of them. But I have found out...
I don't think it's even used them.
No, I don't think so. But, Hollywood used it in that... I wouldn't even say that. Beverly, you know what? You know what?
Wasn't that like
the Beverly Hillbillies?
We're not trying not to say it.
You got to say it for people to understand.
Right. So... But isn't it interesting how attitudes change a little bit?
Back to upholstery.
Well, I wanted to mention that if somebody wants to really see about I was saying to Jimmy that Europeans would judge not only people from Appalachia in that area, but they would judge Native Americans and things like that. They would be coming through. They were the ones with the pencil and the paper, 200 or whatever years ago it was.
They're the ones coming through your neighborhood telling you how you should be in your
Right, and then maybe put things down from their viewpoint. It might look a little strange. I'm not even blaming them in some ways, but that the derogatory terms come out. And I was looking at a documentary, Jimmy. The last name is Kaufman. It's on YouTube. I can't remember his first name, but he was in Appalachia in the 50s, and he was showing the culture. Let me tell you something. It's highly structured culture of food, dance, and music.
Yeah.
He featured it in this video. It's amazing to watch it because
the people that have been up there for generations.
Yeah.
Again, the music, the food, the way of living, the jobs, everything just kind of. This is your life. This is your lifestyle. This is what it is.
Yeah, but he reflected, unlike people before him, he was reflecting the very positive side to that area of the country.
Oh, that's right.
So,
you can't look at somebody and just say, "Oh, that's not the right way to live." It's not that. It's not that easy.
right. So anyhow, let's move on. I mean, I just wanted to bring that up, not to embarrass you, because I think a lot of people use that word without even thinking about it.
Well, they probably use an awful lot of things that they have said since they've been children or teenagers or
Yeah.
whatever, and all of a sudden
It's hard to break those habits, right?
Yeah,
sometimes.
I mean, I've heard you.
Oh, let's move on. Why don't you go on to the Facebook forum before you do that? So,
Yeah.
how many people?
I'd say in the last couple of weeks there have been at least 10, 12 people.
So, how many do you think are on there, just roughly?
You know what? I haven't even tallied that up. I think Patrick would.
So-
I don't know if you can do that, Patrick, or not.
So, if you're watching us for the first time,
390.
390.
That's still.
That's good. If you're watching us for the first time, please subscribe because we're close to 20,000. We're really excited about that.
And that forum is a
So
lot
do I
more
get
active
do I get a
than-
day off or something? Or?
Well, I think when we hit
Will you
20,000,
finally
I
pay
may
me?
get you those platform shoes that I've been
Actually,
for the
probably,
raise.
Actually, a breakfast at the place down the street would be nice.
Breakfast at the place.
Yeah, the place you took me to when we had the bagel.
Well, okay, because you did get me that Armani suit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He gets me an Armani suit, and I
I
got to
gave-
take him out to breakfast.
I
Never
think he
mind.
gets that.
It's an inside joke.
I know.
It's another Seinfeld joke.
Well, let's not go there. I never really watched the show.
And you can't
so.
get a soup. Anyhow.
Yeah, the
First
soup,
the parking
the
thing
soup
and all
person I
that.
know.
Oh, well, thank you, Jimmy. See, Jimmy corrected himself because
No, because I never really watched the show.
right.
So I
Well,
never get into
there's
it.
a lot of references to popular when you're in popular culture, which we are right now. This is if you don't realize it.
Well, you're politically
We're-
correct.
we're-
God forgive you.
Well, I was going to say, the Facebook forum is much busier when we're in the middle of a new class. So
That's interesting. I didn't know that. But it's also a great tool, along with the YouTube, the free YouTube, and the Facebook, free Facebook. So we've got 2, 3, including this one, free stuff all over the place, Jimmy. How are we staying in
Why
business?
don't you start giving away things, Kevin? I mean,
well, I
come
don't
on.
know. We're not.
We gotta get a sponsor. That's what we need.
Well, I think Patrick has a question in there. Does Jimmy?
Yeah,
have a
let's start from the beginning.
Okay, let's
skip
start.
that.
Yes.
Let's no more talking. I did
This
wanna,
is from Sarah 10 days ago. Okay.
okay.
So I've heard you guys mention people reaching out to you to sponsor your videos. I say if companies are reaching out to you to sponsor you, heck yes, do it. Sometimes the ads prior to your videos are targeted, so they will advertise for other online upholstery classes and materials. So if you monetize the videos with YouTube advertising for the competition, why not? The nice thing about containing sponsored products in your videos, you can say before agreeing, yes, I'll use your product in a tutorial, but I think, and then it stops right there.
I think I'm going to have Patrick answer this because he knows a little bit more about this than I do. Because I think there's some fraud on there too, right, Patrick?
Well, yeah, but I don't think we've had so far at least, anything that really caught our eye in terms of that.
Well, I mean, I think if we have fellow upholsterers and even some local businesses here in the area, why not?
We've had a lot of people contact us, Patrick.
Right,
Recently,
it'd be like a case where if somebody wanted you to use their tool in the video when you're working, it'd be something like that. You know?
well,
Kind of like, what is that show with Tim Allen? Tool
Well,
time.
Maybe we'll just ask our viewers if that's something that, if they like the way it is now without any sponsorship, because we've purposely not taken any sponsorships.
You mean finally get paid?
Well, yeah, I mean, if people have ideas about that, I know we just heard from one idea, one person.
I mean, well, it's a nice idea that you get the, they sponsor the tool, they sponsor whatever, again, an upholstery class if that's what it happens to be, or again, their local business and, whatever it is.
Yeah, we'll look into that, Patrick, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what's the next question, Jimmy?
Let's see, from Randy. Not sure how sponsorship works on YouTube, but a number of other channels that I watch do it. Usually with the disclaimer, the only thing I don't like is some of the sponsorships are not related to the channel's content.
So there you go. We just got our answer from one of our really good supporters, Randy. And I guess, Patrick, if the tools are tools that we already use, but why would they ask us to do sponsor?
Well, somebody, I don't know,
those
maybe, again, it could be online classes, it could be classes they want to start up. I mean, again, local businesses is always a good thing, I think. Especially, I mean, being in this
Well, we
area.
have to keep it relevant, keep it to upholstery somewhat. It reminds me of a commercial, an anti-upholstery commercial that was on the air a few years ago. I've mentioned this before. I won't tell you the company that promoted this, but it was a big company.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking billionaires. And they had a commercial about they didn't want anybody to go to the upholsterer. So what they had was on his bench, they had this big oily machine with all these gears, all these crazy rusted gears and oil dripping off on the guy's bench. And the clean salesperson for this big furniture store peeked in, and the camera's behind her. He didn't want to go in because, and there's a guy in there smoking a cigar, and he didn't look like an upholsterer any upholsterer that I know. And
Yeah, because the upholsterers are clean cut, right?
right, and he looks at he looks at the guy, and he quickly looks back at the camera, and he says, "You could go to a guy like this, or you could come to me. Well, I have the best furniture and the cleanest, and blah blah blah." Right? So that we don't want that machine on our displaying that, Jimmy. Right? That's the point I'm making. Patrick, did you take the?
Is there anything in upholstery that uses gears to?
we don't know what that was. It was a big machine age. Think machine age. Like
I thought it was one of the Saw movies.
It looked like
Your torture device. It was random,
It looked like
You what? Yeah. You know what? I actually watched one. You ever see one of those?
Oh, I don't like those. I have nightmares.
I had
don't
no
watch them,
idea. I had
seriously.
no idea what they were all about.
Oh, sure you didn't.
I know,
You
I
thought it was like
I heard Jigsaw was an upholsterer.
You
just
thought
like
Jig-
Jack the
Yes,
Ripper.
he was a stitcher, and then he went crazy. They kept him locked in a closet there.
Jimmy. So for some reason, upholsterers, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors about me. There's one I can talk about. Other ones I
Are
don't
you
want to
talking
talk
about the basement lady again?
Yeah, remember that?
Oh, that
was
was fun.
your fault. You were promoting rumors in the upholstery
At
industry.
least
I
you're
don't
not
like.
Jack the Ripper.
See, one day you're joking, and the next day there's a big commercial sponsored by a billionaire
No,
with
no,
an
no,
anti-upholstery.
the next day you got the police, Mr. Kennedy. We have rumors that you have people down in your basement. Is that true?
Why don't you tell the story?
Oh no, you tell it so well.
Well, we were in a class. Our classes are very nice,
Yes, we had about
Mostly there's housewives, and they're very delicate,
Yeah.
Some of them
very
not so.
craft-like people.
Very
Very nice.
craft-like. And then we have Jimmy over in the corner.
That's an unusual mix.
And, I'm polite. I watch.
I'm not
my
a
P's and
party
Q's.
pooper.
You're not a party pooper. You don't know. I think if I have anything to say is your filters don't seem to be working all the times. But no, they do work sometimes. Like today, you showed. But anyhow, so we have a compressor set downstairs. And the compressors, you guys who have compressors,
Yeah, I
you know
agree,
that they
Randy.
cycle, right?
Yes.
They cycle.
Randy said.
And we have a full boat of people. There's 10 women and Jimmy. And one of the women very sheepishly came up to me and said, "Kevin, we were wondering, is that girl that you have downstairs on the sewing machine, do you let her come up? I mean, we've taken the class 3, 4, 5 times. We hear the machine. We don't see her. And we're worried about it. Is she down there? do you let her up? Is there any way to go out? Is there any?
So what was it?
Well, so I foolishly said I shouldn't have done this because I thought she was kind of teasing me, but she wasn't. She was
Right.
serious. She was concerned about the woman downstairs.
Yeah, coming
So
from me.
I kind of knew that. Yeah, you spread the rumors. So the machine was off, the compressor was off, and vibration from the floor. I noticed if there's vibration, it'll go off, it'll trigger it. So it was perfect timing. I went, Susie, and I went
my
1, 2,
God.
3,
Yeah.
and the machine came on. And this guy's in the corner thinking that it's a big joke. I had to take them down there to show them that there was nobody down there.
So what was it? The machine wasn't
It
going
was
off?
just a compressor.
Oh.
Well,
They thought it was a sew machine.
somebody had asked me, said, Jimmy, what's downstairs? I said, oh, that's Kevin's got somebody working downstairs.
You spread the rumor.
Oh, yeah, they were so...
See, this is how things start. This
It
is
was-
how it starts.
How believable, come on. You never saw the woman downstairs all the time. Come on.
I had to tell you, there was really me down there the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
They were visualizing a woman locked in a ball and chain and get to the sewing machine.
Yeah, that 25-pound ball and chain that she couldn't probably go 5 feet
What
with.
kind of jerk would
That,
do
that she
that?
probably got as far as the refrigerator because that's where you kept
What
the
refrigerator?
one glass of water for
Reminds
every.
me of Parents of the Caribbean or something.
But it was hilarious. Yeah, I mean,
Well, that was funny.
I've had a couple.
That
of,
poor girl was definitely. You had her convinced, and a couple of other girls in there, the ladies, that there was something going on.
I'm sure they only believed that in the beginning. They learned to know you two. That they.
Oh yeah, Kevin and I used to have some good time. I remember the first class that we actually had when I can't remember, was it Sarah Prince Andrew and Sarah were getting married or something, and they invited us to.
Oh, tell the story, Jim. You would.
Well, I
you
would do
don't
the
know
comments first. You're going off the rails.
well, yeah, we'll get to that. Why don't you just read
Okay,
that? Don't
all right,
forget
so
about that. 'Cause that
Anyway,
was funny.
moving down a little bit. This is obviously this class. This is from Shidon, I believe Shidon.
Yeah.
How to upholster outside back of a dining room chair. What size staples for the fabric in that video?
3/8.
3/8.
3/8. Yeah.
So 3/8 is always the basic. When
That's
you,
the universal basic one, but then you sometimes you have to go to the 1/2 inch, which is a longer staple, to get thicker fabric, or if the wood's not as good. And then the small staples, the 1/4 inch, you might want to use for upholstering panels. We just
Okay.
did a panel, Patrick, a panel YouTube.
Yep.
Do you remember that last
That's what-
time?
Yeah, I have that. I'm gonna be getting that today.
Oh, that's not up there yet?
No, I didn't get it. It went away right after I got
Oh,
them on.
well, you guys will see that in that panel.
yes, so we got a great review from Janine who said great show as usual.
Who was that?
Janine.
She's
last
been a
week.
great supporter.
Yeah.
Someday you might have to hop over to Australia to see her.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If she's got a room for me, or
Oh,
she can.
we've
direct-
always wanted to go there, so we'll
Yeah, maybe we can go on the road again.
I'm a big fan of the Bundy Beach. You know where that is? The Bundy
No.
Beach.
Is it
It's
around there?
it's a very popular beach. The tourists go to a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In what part of Australia?
What part of Australia is that,
I
Patrick?
don't know if that's Janine. She was,
So anyway, the next one is from Natalie Smith regarding the making rollover arm caps.
Okay.
The comment is, "Thank you so much. I've been putting this on for years in my armchair. I finished it in one evening."
Wow. See,
Yeah.
there you go.
The next one is from Loretta Lager regarding the sewing machine 101 for upholstery. The comment was, "Thank you."
There you
Obviously, so you really helpful.
They say for every person, they used to say this about either compliments or complaints. For every call you get, it represents maybe 100 or 200 people who didn't respond. But so every one of them is important. Every comment, especially positive one. We're going to get to a negative comment that Patrick deleted, but we remember what it is in a little while.
I think. Well, I don't know if I have this one or not.
Jimmy's going to love that. He likes to get the digs in with me, you know. when he
Yeah,
can.
well, I get because you don't leave a copy for me anywhere around. I have to literally like drive from Dunkin' Donuts to Dunkin' Donuts.
And we talked about that delivery we had where we went to the wrong window. We went
Yeah.
to we placed the order, and then I pulled up to another window in the building, and it was a storage unit. We looked in there, and there were brooms, and there was all kinds of paper, Dunkin' Donuts.
We
stacks
definitely
of
are.
paper.
You obviously don't go to drive-throughs that much.
And we were waiting there a long time. So
Yeah, then I said, I think we should move up.
We're
Yeah, they were kind of looking for us out there. Like, oh, we didn't know where you went. I'm like, oh, we just decided to look at the paint on
the
the...
lady finally came over with our coffee,
Oh my
Patrick.
God.
Go ahead, Jimmy. You got another
So
one?
this next one is regarding the ply grip uses, application, and tips from the Leather Masters of the UK.
Leather Masters.
Yes. So it says here, you make some good videos. It is a pity that your camera work does not cover everything that you do. You explain things, but it's not shown on the camera.
So, is that it?
Wait a minute, there's more.
Okay, go ahead.
I would love to do your master's class, but I cannot help thinking that the camera work will be as bad. Is it? I do like the videos, though you have a lot of experience to share.
Let's let Patrick answer that one.
No, it's 10 times better for a reason. That's where we have all of our time to
What's
Get
10,
everything
what's
set up.
10 times better?
the camera angles and everything.
No, what 10 times better? I've got to
Information and camera angles. And
Patrick,
everything.
you've got to be a salesman. What's 10 times better? The online classes where you can go to Upholstery on Broadway
Right.
and find those online classes. That
Yeah.
they're paid classes, and there's a lot of attention. I think it's an extraordinary amount of work between the filming and the editing, which the editing is one of the keys.
Well,
so-
if I remember the class that they're talking about, this was the one where you happen to get in front of the camera.
and you almost have to sometimes. You can't. It's
well,
hard to
when
get
you're
off to the side.
when you're doing a class, like say showing a tip to do how to do, needlework or whatever. Sometimes it's a last minute thing. You're just kind of working it. You're trying to remember, but you may not show maybe the best angle of what you're
Right.
doing. Versus where when we do the online classes, we have a lot more thought.
Yeah, I
a
think
lot,
it's
a little
got
bit-
3 camera angles.
Right. We have 3 cameras
Yeah.
going, but still, even with that said, we're moving cameras around a lot.
That's right.
To show,
That's
you
right.
know,
He
especially
gets
when
close-ups. He takes the camera out.
right. Well, I
into-
mean, we've moved around on the settee. God knows how many times.
it's a
we
lot
moved.
of work. I mean, people don't realize the work.
Well, that's more exact because we're giving the class as it is, and people, it's much more detailed versus you're giving 3 or 4 tips to a chair or an ottoman at the same time.
Right.
So
So, what would you suggest for what's this fellow's name?
this is from the
England?
Leather Masters in the UK.
From the UK. So what
Yes.
I would say is, Patrick, would you say, why don't you try one of the videos first to see if you like it, and then if you do, you can get the subscribe it. How much is the subscription?
Well, yeah, try one of the beginning videos.
What are they, $49 or something?
Yeah,
What's an
$50.
easy one to do? One of the easy ones to subscribe to.
I say the ottoman right there.
So
Right.
you get the ottoman, you see how it's done, and you see the quality is much better. It's not to say that we, on the YouTube videos that we're presenting a bad product. We're presenting products as they come in the YouTube videos. We don't always have time. That's a lot on the fly. I know. I don't know if that's a good thing to say, Patrick, but it's true. I
Well,
mean, we
you're
have
trying
to
to
be
show it
truthful.
in the best form possible.
They
but-
usually it's in the middle of a project. It's in the middle of a day. It's not set aside like the online classes are. We're prepared, the
Right.
lighting and all that stuff. So the online classes are definitely
Much
better.
more production.
Yeah. So what's the next?
This is from Laura Bates, and this is regarding the fixing upholstery damaged by a pet. Obviously, you didn't send her the right cat.
Yeah.
So anyway, she says that I'd like to see how you repair the large tear in the sofa.
I think that was a wise comment, wasn't it?
I don't know.
No, there's no way to fix that. That was the one where we did there was a little cat damage on the front.
Okay.
And I think we turned the video. Remember that one, Patrick?
Yeah.
And it looked like a bobcat attacked us.
Oh no way! I don't remember that one.
Yeah, and I've heard stories of people taking in pets that they're not what we would call naturalists or zoologists, or
Yeah.
they're not anything like that because they don't know that the bobcat that they took in as a pet, they thought was a cat, or the feral cat that they found in the alley. They thought that they could make a difference and
Yes.
tame them.
Well, you know what? It's always funny, and it's true.
Somebody
you
just
know,
found
you-
a raccoon. They brought it in as a pet, Jimmy. Was that you?
Yeah, not me. I don't
I just
know.
want to say Malcolm says the paid classes are comprehensive and well worth it.
There you go.
Thank you.
I hope the leather guys listening now I did want to make a comment with the leather guy. If he's using leather, he wants to use the firmer ply grip. We featured the lightweight ply grip on that. He wants to use the Curvies. Curvies is the heavier, and that's better for leather if he's closing up leather.
Okay.
Okay, so I just wanted to give that tip.
Okay.
Evelyn from Houston, Texas is here.
Who?
I think Evelyn.
Hey, how's Houston?
Yes.
Probably hot right now, I would guess.
I bet it's
What
really
is the
hot
temperature
down.
today? When do they go into their hot spell? Is
I
there a
think they're
period
in
of
it
time?
now, Jimmy.
Right around
Just
now?
love the detail that you share. Thank you.
Oh, great, thank you.
And then Randy chimed in. I think this is a good idea. If you considered offering one lesson of the class for a free preview, I feel like we could do that as long as we're showing it out of order. We're going to pick a random one and.
We were thinking about doing that somehow with the live, but I think it would be too complicated, right?
Oh, you just take one of the lessons that are on there. I think I feel like that would be cheating.
I think it's a
anybody.
good idea. I think Randy's got really good ideas.
Well, yeah, you could probably pick what lesson, whether it's from the settee or the whatever chair, and say, okay, here we go. This is how you kind of start, and a little tip on the way. But you got to make it, I'm going to say appetizing with regard to let somebody see how it's introduced and how it works with what's going on at the time.
Spoken like a true apprentice, but right now, Jimmy, you are actually not in the apprenticeship mode. You are more in the journeyman mode. So you'll be able to, with this next project we're doing, which we should announce now, is the wing chair, right?
Yes, it's the wing chair. The chair itself is, a well-worn seat, and that's definitely going to be replaced, and that's definitely probably going to be a lesson for you as part of the process.
So I can't wait to get our teeth dug into that, and that's going to be soon. So Patrick, if you figure that maybe it's going to be 15 classes. 15,
Oh.
12 to 15.
Okay.
When do you think that's going to be available? And talk to the people about their subscriptions and that other one?
So yeah, we're still sitting on the shellback.
Oh, we have a lot of content that still hasn't been posted. When are you doing that? People are wondering.
Well, so that will probably, I'd say the shellback will be up in the fall. So whatever we work on this summer will be around Christmas time. That's what I'd guess.
Okay. So how many lessons?
We took a little bit because we were I'll tell you what, we were all so exhausted after that settee class.
Oh yeah, but we stripped
Yeah.
stripped it down to nothing and brought it back.
Jimmy,
to
a
life.
little petite settee wore us all out.
Well, you know what's funny?
What happened? Where's our manhood?
Well, look at it this way. When we were in the shop doing a delivery the other day, that couch that you had, which is a very nice one, I'm sure, when it gets done by
That's
you,
a little bulky.
a lot more
That's
bulky.
a real man sofa.
A real man sofa, yes. I said to you, I wish I could find something like this for my living room, even though I do have a...
But you know, it's those small pieces like the one I got up here. This is a lot of work. There's a lot of detail. You can't, use your masculinity too hard on this one because you'll break it.
Right.
But there's a lot of work on this because it has that recessed back and there's a lot of cleaning up to be done, and I'm not even halfway there.
That's what I said about the last year that I did. It
Yeah.
was one fabric on top of another, the staples and nails being mixed in together, and I thought, what do I have here? I finally took the whole thing off because
Yeah.
it was just one pile of nothing.
This is fascinating. This is upholstery talk. This is what the people.
This is where we hang out at the bar and talk
is
about
what-
on a Saturday afternoon.
That's right. We're gonna have a book. I'm
With
gonna
our
have a book.
Hawaiian punch and vodka.
I'm going to make a book about sofas and chairs.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a coffee table book. And I'm going to have legs on it. And the book's going to have legs. And I'm going to...
Oh God! You're smoking
Never mind.
that.
Go on to the
You're
next
smoking that stuff again. I told you to get off it.
I'm in good form today. I'm in a good mood. What can I say?
Let's see. This is from Randy. It says from 2 weeks ago. The show, great show. I'm sorry I missed it in person. I was out in the middle of Georgia with the grandkids. I assume your next one is today. I should be around. Have a great holiday weekend. Try to stay out of the shop for a day or two.
And he's around and he's watching.
He's here
and-
now, yeah.
Yeah.
Riveting TV. He
Riveting
sets
TV, and
his alarm clocks to this hour every week.
Yeah,
at
we
Monday.
should send him I don't know what can we send him? What was it?
A
Oh,
bouquet of
he's
flowers.
an upholsterer with everything
I don't know
that
if
he
you
needs.
well.
Maybe we could send him one of those big oily gear machines for his upholstery.
Yeah, something. I know. I'd be looking forward to going. Yeah, okay.
So Deborah says working on one now in lime green and white 4-inch plaid. She's probably talking about a chair.
Oh, One of
Either a
these,
shellback
one of
or
these
the
French chairs. A plaid on
wing
these is a
chair.
nightmare. I feel bad for her.
I'm not sure which one she was referring.
Probably this one.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you're matching up how much?
Well, the thing about a plaids are the hardest fabric to match because you have two stripes, one horizontal and one vertical,
Okay.
and you have repeats in those stripes. You usually think the Scottish kilt, which I'm not. Have you ever worn a kilt, Jimmy?
No, sorry, I missed that.
No,
So far,
it's okay.
I'm open.
It's okay because those are plaid and those have to line up just like they do on the chair.
Well, the fabric that we chose for my chair was that? Would you say that was an easier fabric? It had a little
That
bit
was
of
a little.
pat.
That had some. You picked a fabric with the channel back that was a little challenging, but I think it came out great.
Yes, I did. I mean, when you said, "Oh, we have to match things up," I said, "Oh my God!"
Some things,
Yes.
like on the channel back, you don't. It's funny, you don't match every channel with the stripe. You let it just. Remember what we did? We just let it fall where it was. I mean, we just cut it right across the width of the fabric.
Right.
Now, some upholsterers would disagree with that. And I had a big discussion with a customer the other day. They picked a beautiful embroidered fabric, beautiful embroidered fabric, and it has these flowers, different flowers. I think it was from India too. Beautiful, very unusual. It's because it's a sofa too. It's a lot of fabric. It's expensive, and she was talking about what am I going to do to match it. She's interested in the detail. I said I won't know until I lay it out. It depends on the measurements of the sofa or the piece that you're using. That it really we have done, Patrick. We did a video called pattern placements. Do you remember that one?
When was that?
We don't get much on that one. That was a few years ago. You remember? We did a video on that. So go ahead, Jimmy. What's the next one?
The next one is from Strong Moms, and this is regarding the club chair reupholstery from A to Z. And this is Strong Mom says, I've watched multiple videos, but your videos are the ones that help me. Don't stop making videos. Thank you so much.
Well, there you go. And that was hurried also. I have to admit, the YouTube videos are hurried because the furniture that you see, every single furniture, Patrick, that we have featured on the YouTube has been customers' furniture.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they need to get out. So that's why we're proud of the A to the Z's that we have on there.
Yeah.
We did a sofa, we did a club chair. I think there might be one or two other things on there, but they're harder to do because of the fact that the customer needs their furniture, right? So we can't always fit that into film production, right, Patrick? So what's the next one? Jimmy, you got a few of them there. Are you making these up? Or?
Yeah, I'm reading the whole thing, actually. Patrick told me, hey, we haven't got much material. The next one is from Strong Mom also, but this one says, love your videos. I'm doing an antique chair that has rolled arms. I'm trying to figure out how to upholster the arms because it's wide and creases in rolled arms. Any idea? I'm the first timer. Thank you.
Well, you know what's interesting about this? The French have a club chair, and I bet it's very similar to that it has a saddle arm. Okay, so the arm goes like this, and it's rounded. Those are challenging. You got to know how to, and this is a really good question. I would definitely advise her to go and look at the online classes because we talk a lot about how to stretch fabric, how to approach, how not to stretch fabric like around curves. And one way you can't do it, Randy knows what I'm talking about, and people who out there who have upholstered. But you have to be taught that. That's one of the things, Jimmy, that there's wide gaps in the upholstery world with training. I mean, nobody wanted to be trained to be an upholsterer. So where I see a lot of the big gaps are in stretching fabrics, Jimmy. Jimmy, that's where a lot of it. So we focus on that. I sound like a broken record, right, Jimmy? When I was saying you need to stretch.
Every day you sound like a broken record.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. That's a compliment when it comes to teaching, because I know how many teachers that you had didn't really elaborate or didn't teach you.
I had a woodworking teacher that was very.
All woodwork teachers were mean. I had a mean one.
Yeah, well,
he was really mean. You know what he used to say to me? You can't chew bubble gum and walk at the same time, Kennedy. So now you're going to sit over in the corner.
Yeah, take that piece of sandpaper that's probably 200 years old and sand that piece of paper. Sand that piece of wood.
You talk about using terms that aren't appropriate because most of most of these guys who taught those classes in the schools where I was growing, they weren't certified teachers.
Well, I don't know. The one I had was probably
Was certified?
They
were certifiable, all right.
He was definitely obsessed with sandpaper and sanding.
Right, but they kept you busy,
Yeah, it was as smooth as you could possibly
So
get.
you're sanding that nice veneer table. You're
And,
doing
yeah,
that
well,
all class.
you-
All of a sudden, you're through the top of the table, and he comes over, and you've gone right through the veneer, Jimmy. Is that what happened?
No,
you could tell us.
you didn't. No. What kind of stories do you obviously had a different shop teacher. Than
Oh,
I
he was tough.
was he?
Oh,
Well, mine
yeah,
was
he was
too,
tough.
but
You
that's
got
okay.
along with them, Jimmy. See, you got along to get along, as they say, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
get along.
There you go. Oh, you got another one there?
I do. This is regard. You got a lot of. Let's see, where are we? Oh, strong
Belt
mouth.
sanders. Did you use a belt sander in that class?
No, we had no electric tools.
So you have the belt sander going like at the third gear, right? And you're talking to your
You-
friend over here.
You're seeing the
You're
sparks
talking-
fly out.
You're on that beautiful table, and the thing's going back and forth like this, and you're talking to your friend, and the wood guy comes over. What does he say to you?
I don't know what's the. You really are like off on your own today.
What's the next
Oh,
one? Is
we
there any
should
more?
put the drug help us, man. Go fund for drug.
I told you I
rehab.
was in a good mood today.
Really? What did you have? An extra bowl of Captain Crunch or something?
Not really. Lobsters went down $1.
Oh wow! Let's run to the local
They're
market.
$7.99 for 1 pound lobsters over at Market
I'm
Basket.
not a fan of lobster, but I understand.
I am a little suspicious though. You
Why?
want to know why I'm suspicious?
because the price went down.
Because red tide came in, and now
Well,
the
now
lobsters
nobody-
are going down.
Well,
And I'm not referring to the color of the lobster.
no, but red tide is
Randy
serious.
might know not Randy being from the Midwest. He might not know what red tide is.
Well,
Do you
why
want
don't
to
you
explain
explain it
what red tide is?
Well, it's been some time, but since you're on it, lobsters.
A
right?
certain amount of pollution is okay on your clams and your oysters, but when it reaches a level where it's a problem, they close down all the beds, and
Yes.
and it's hard for the fish stores to get these, right, Jimmy?
Yes,
that's
that's
where
it.
prices go up.
Well, it should, but obviously people are probably not going to buy anything, so now they're going to start dumping them.
I'm wondering about the lobsters, but go ahead. What's the next one?
So the next one is from Lynn Helmuth, 3 days ago, and this is regarding the Upholstery, a dining room chair, part 3. I've watched several of your videos, and I'm grateful for you sharing the talent and the craft. After watching 3 parts of dining chair, I have a question. Did you make a video that shows how to finish the seated material? I have dining room chairs I'm doing. I would use all your steps. However, I don't know how to finish the material.
So I guess I'm going to offer my own apology, because this is what we were just talking about, that we don't always have time on customers' furniture to make a complete video, so sometimes we just focus on one part of the piece of furniture, which in this case that was. So
Okay.
online classes,
Yeah.
they have it A to Z.
Well,
They have everything in there, the online classes at Upholstery on Broadway.
now, would you ever think about doing a series of videos on sewing? I know you.
You
Bernice
know,
did that.
we have Bernice,
but I
yeah.
also have. I mean,
Yeah.
you too as well.
We have Bernice.
Kind of to apply it to.
You know what? It's funny. It's a good question, Jimmy. But most upholsterers would say that they're stitches, not seamstresses. And the reason that they would say they're stitches, few reasons. One would be the stitch that we take in upholstery is only half-inch stitch. When you're doing tailoring or fine, whether you're doing wedding dresses or men's suits, they're much smaller seams.
Yes.
And the human body is a lot harder to fit than a chair.
Right.
Especially with the wedding dresses, because there's other problems associated with that, like fittings, and brides. The 3 months leading up to the wedding, they may develop a nervous habit of eating too much.
Yes.
So they need these fittings, and the person doing it, you would have to let it out, then let it back in again, and right before the wedding, hopefully, you know what I mean. That's a tough business.
Well, it can be the same. Yeah.
But so the bench time, usually in upholstery, the way it's split up, bench time is about, I would say, 75% percent, and sitting at the sewing machine is 25%. So with seamstresses, it's 100% on the sewing machine.
Okay.
So you can see where their skill level would be much greater than an upholsterer's skill level.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to say we can't, I could do a cushion, a full cushion. So I'm not sure. And we've done cushions, haven't we, Patrick? We've done
Yeah, we've
video.
done plenty of videos on that.
We've done some stitching, but I bet we covered almost everything stitching-wise in upholstery.
Well, I don't know. Maybe
about.
maybe make some updated videos.
Yeah, maybe better
Michaela
lighting.
could even try to do some of those.
What's that?
Michaela could even.
Yeah.
Bernice worked with Michaela there for a little bit, remember?
Kayla's very versatile. So what's the next question there?
The next and the last question. So we're
The
going to have
last
a drum
one.
roll with this one. From Claire Edwards, I've heard bad comments about pneumatic decorative nail guns. I don't have enough energy to do them manually. I'm in France working with mid-century hardwood. Any advice, please?
I think in this case, buying one of these guns might be beneficial for her. Because what she can do, she can use the gun for the heavy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then she can look at my video. I did a video on how to adjust French nails.
Okay.
And, I have a very interesting way of explaining it, like the face of a clock with the different directions,
Okay.
with the different, times
Okay.
on a clock.
Okay.
I show that so she can use the machine because she doesn't have a good teacher is always going to try to find a way through physical disabilities, and we've had people with physical disabilities
Well, what about the
learn upholstery.
staple gun, manual staple gun that you have on your website?
Oh, no, she's talking about French nails, Jimmy.
I'm sorry.
And there's a gun that shoots French nails
Oh, no
through
way.
the pneumatic. It's a pneumatic.
So a certain different.
But
heading.
I was saying about it that I didn't like it because it was actually it put them in too straight. So in reality, when you're putting French nails in, you're above eye level, right, Randy? Randy will tell you. Above eye level is probably most of what you do in upholstery, because when the furniture goes on the floor, how are people looking at it, right? They're
You're
looking at it
looking
like
down.
this. So when you do a job, next time you do a beautiful job and it looks perfect to you, get down to where the cat view of it and go like this, and you'll see, wow. You'll see all, like if you do a row of French nails using that
Well,
technique.
you've seen it.
If you go like this or turn the chair over, it looks terrible.
Well, that's where you're going
Right?
to have a sense of the eye level has to be.
It's a little bit
constant.
above eye level. So,
Yes.
so it's like a tapestry. You have beautiful top, and then you turn it over, and you get all the loose ends. It's like that in upholstery.
But it's uncanny that I have a better sense of keeping them straight.
Right.
And I do take my time, but it is. There's a little bit of a knack to keeping them
Yep.
that way, especially on on the back of a chair, for example.
You have to be patient. And another tip I would say is do not use. They have those plastic tip nail hammers. Don't even bother. They use
Not enough strength.
They bounce off the tack. You can't get it. I mean, you're going to have to give up a little bit of scratching here and there on a French nails. And if you do too much scratching, you take it out and put another one in.
Well, hopefully you're hitting it enough that it grabs.
Yeah. Did we catch up on all the comments, Patrick? And
Yep, Randy was just mentioning a few things.
yeah, why don't you read what Randy's saying?
Back in our day, most of the shop teachers came from trades and had that rough attitude.
Yes.
A rough
Yes.
attitude. There you go, Jim.
Again, my teacher, we had a woodworking teacher that was, oh God, he'd say, okay, sand this down, make it nice and smooth, do you get the edges and so on. You'd be there for like a class or two, smooth as possible. You give it to him and say, okay, can I move to the next step, which would be say staining it or painting it. Oh my God, no, still not smooth. I'm like, are you kidding? So, some of the kids, what they would do is just basically go back to the class, go back to wherever they were working, not do a damn thing, bring it up to them like half an hour later. Oh yeah, that's fine now.
So you were deceiving your teacher.
I don't know is that the word? I have no idea what you're talking about.
You missed a question on there, though.
No,
We had a negative question. Do
one?
you remember it? I think Patrick deleted it.
He did delete it.
Well, somebody didn't like a video. They said it
Wait,
was
which one is that now?
could apply
I
to any
mentioned
one of
them.
them. He said
I mean,
it was the worst video on YouTube.
Which one was that, Patrick?
I deleted it too quickly. I don't know which one it was from.
Why would Patrick delete it?
I was just going through them.
So was it true? My mother said that everybody likes me.
She lied, Kevin. Like I would tell you and anybody else.
What?
She lied.
So you have to take criticism well. Maybe we
Well,
should.
you know what? I mean, again, this is maybe an opportunity to say, if Patrick could find out which one it
I
is.
can't now. I deleted it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think I have a feeling it was one of the older ones. I mean, we did these videos in the beginning as kind of like a spoof, right, Pat? And it's kind of we're having fun with Goofy.
Well, I mean,
know.
if they would like to comment again about which one it is, and we can figure out and say, again, some of them could be updated.
Well, yeah,
Finding out which one it is to say, okay, let's see if we can do the lesson a little bit better.
right.
That's
Were
all.
you ever in any YouTube videos, Jimmy? Were you?
No.
Yeah, you were just
One-
these
one,
last
2 weeks
ones
ago.
that we did.
Yeah.
So we're starting to use Jimmy in the YouTube videos. So maybe
God
people.
almighty, that
He's in both of the new ones we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Jimmy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's great when you can do the little tips and a little lesson. I mean, again, I think people would appreciate watching you do some. I've seen some of the things we've delivered in the past month, and it's been like.
Remember
wow.
that one in Cambridge we delivered that Victorian sofa?
That was beautiful.
That was a hard delivery.
Well, out of the truck, around the building, into the building, halfway into it, elevator, off the elevator,
Down
back
one
down, across the basement
Through
again.
pipes, steaming pipes.
Yeah, because of the construction that
It was in
going
the
on
basement, spider webs and
there. I think about 45 minutes later, we got it upstairs. Right? It was about that.
exactly.
Yeah. But it was a beautifully
No
done.
tip either. No tip.
Well, yeah, but you know what? That's the type of project I think people would like to see if Patrick could ever do it. To watch, I mean, I know it's.
We should have had a YouTube video on the delivery because actually, you guys, on a serious note, delivering furniture, follow through is really important. You'd be surprised how many people in this business are really good upholsterers. They do a terrific job, and they don't clean the furniture off well, or they don't bag it, or they have another guy, down the street who's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth deliver their furniture for them.
Yeah.
Really, I follow through on every piece of furniture that I do. It's really important.
Oh, I know. I
Now,
mean, you
it's-
do. We home deliver it. We set it up. We do
Now
whatever
talk
we have.
about how close that was. That sofa just barely made it through it was an old elevator.
Yes.
Just barely made it
I
through.
think it was one of the Flintstone elevators.
It was an old elevator, and they had a delivery elevator that had been out of commission for how many years? Guess how many years, Jimmy?
10.
30.
Wow.
30 years, I think. Had
So
been
it
used.
was like the Big Bang Theory. They had that elevator was out the whole time the show was on.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I
Yeah.
didn't watch that.
That's one of the only facts I really know about the show.
Oh, okay. So, speaking of shows, we might as well just plug ourselves a little bit. Michaela, who's coming up next, has done some wonderful drawings for us about famous furniture that we've done. And one of them was the Friends sofa.
Oh.
We upholstered the Friends sofa. We had something to do with the John Belushi, H.R. Haldeman, Napoleon, Johnny Cash. Who else, Patrick? We got a couple in there. Johnny Cash.
Was it,
His sofa.
Lady Diana.
Oh, Lady Diana, how can I forget her childhood chair that we did? So we might as well do a little plugging. And so, Jimmy, if you're all done...
I can go now?
You don't have to go.
Is the check at the door again?
You don't have to go, but
okay.
you you can sit there. We don't want you to go, because now it's Michaela's turn. We're going to go through some estimating that we have to catch up on. And I know there are professional upholsterers out there and people who want to be professional upholsterers. This is really a segment that they like. Not to say they don't like your segment, Jimmy, because they do.
Well, we're different style. Different. This is important too. So
It is. You want to go to the first one, Michaela?
Yep. All right. Okay, so the first one we can do Cordelia.
Okay. Go ahead and read that.
I'm looking to get this love seat upholstered. The foam is in good condition. The measurements are 26 height, 60 width and 32 deep. Please let me know what the estimate might be. Also, please let me know how much fabric I need to purchase.
Oh, well, we're going to take care of that, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna tell 'em. But this is a highly unusual sofa. Let me just show. This is really interesting. I've never seen a sofa quite like this, you guys. And you're blinking, Patrick, so we might have to do this fast. Your red light's blinking here. And that's the sofa. Very unusual. You can see that front panel. I've never seen a front panel like that. So that one there, Michaela, is $2,200 and 15 yards fabric.
I can change the battery. The audio will still be going, so it's fine. The mics are separate now.
So the audio is still going, but the mic is not working
The
yet.
camera, the video.
The camera's still
And
working.
now it's back.
And now it's back already?
Yeah.
That was
Alright,
fast.
so you said 2,200
Yes.
and 17 yards?
Did I say 17? Yes, say 17. And we require that, Randy, we've taken some advice from some of our friends out there. One of them is that we can't do COMs anymore. And if we do, we upcharge. By the way, Randy, we've upcharged a few people, and they didn't seem to mind. So thanks for that suggestion. So we'll tell this person that we prefer our own fabric, or there would be an upcharge. So we could start including that in the dialogue, Michaela. So we're live, and Michaela's answering these live, so that's why there's a little bit of a delay. But I think this is a great segment.
Alright. Alright, so yeah, the next one, there's 2 emails here. We can start with Julia. Oh, never mind, that's spam. So,
I mean, you could mention that. This is just the first email here is somebody wanting to make Patrick's website better, right, Patrick?
Okay.
We get a lot of those,
Get that all the time.
and they don't realize we're happy with Patrick and what he's done, and, you know, they're only trying to look for business, which I can understand that too, but we get a lot of those. What's the next one, Nancy? Go ahead.
yes, Nancy. So this one says, I would like to have a vintage chaise on the small side, covered in beautiful fabric. Are you available? Can you do pickups from Chestnut Hill? Can I choose my own fabric?
So she doesn't have a picture here.
Yeah.
So request her to send a picture, to text it, give my phone number. I prefer texting, you guys. It's just if you're in this business now, you realize that texting, you could do that more on the fly than emailing, even emailing. I like texting. And the next one's for you, Patrick. I'm going to just, while she's doing that, somebody is looking for a certificate. Do you give certificates anymore for completion of classes?
Yeah, they should be at the end of I added them on who was that?
This is from Jeremy Werner,
Well, Jeremy, I can send you one. Which class was he?
the East Lake class.
Okay, I'll send him one. Remind me to do that. Okay.
Okay. And I think that's it, right, Michaela?
Let me just make sure. Well, actually, there's a few more.
Oh,
Okay, so I'll make it unread. So it's the one from July 8th, Sally.
July 8th. Okay. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's, you need to click on the first email
I
sent.
got 2 chairs, right?
Yeah, so it says, we are looking to have 2 chairs upholstered. Pictures below.
So these chairs are a little different. They're open arm chairs. And the foam, you guys.
Yeah, the foam definitely looks like it needs
looks
to be
like it's in
replaced.
tough shape, but they don't mention that, right?
No.
So you could say, these chairs need to be restored, all foam needs to be replaced. And these chairs are a nightmare, you guys. These are Parson chairs. You guys know what a Parson chair is? It's got those thin upholstered arms, which are really hard to do. So we really, and it's a mess. So we have to get, believe it or not, 2,200 each on those. It's crazy, I know, but that's what the labor is. And I'm including the material, the foam in with that, not the material. It's another thing, you guys, on Parson chairs, a tremendous waste of fabric. I mean, they're a different look, definitely, and but they require, the fabric is excessive, and there's a lot of waste on these chairs too. So believe it or not, I need them to get. I've been short with these chairs, so I'm gonna tell them 10 yards a piece, because I'm not gonna mess around, because I've one of the where I failed is these chairs when I'm estimating the labor and the yardage. So $2,200 labor and 10 yards plus 10 yards, and that will do it. And they'll just die when they see that, probably. Usually we don't get that, which probably isn't a bad thing. But if we do get it, I want to make sure it's worthwhile, right? So we get caught once in a while with estimating over the text too. So I have to be careful to not do this fast. What's the next one?
She accidentally sent another blank request.
So that's it, right?
Yeah.
All right, Patrick, do you have any business that you want to talk about? We talked about the upcoming online classes. Because we've hit a real wall. I think Jimmy's going to start talking about canned wax beans.
Well, I think we did.
Canned wax beans, you really.
Jimmy, what do you like, canned wax beans or regular?
Fresh, baby, that's the way I go.
Fresh. We've definitely officially
Obviously.
have hit the bottom right now.
No, I don't think it's that bad. But we did need the break after that settee. But now we're going to start up. That's why we changed instead of a yearly subscription, people they sign up for a subscription. They'll get whatever we release, the next 5 classes, so no matter when it is. So it won't expire until we release 4 classes it was.
So we've got a very exciting YouTube channel. We got a very exciting Facebook page that Jimmy is the administrator of. We got a very exciting online class. We've got a very dull question and answer segment, but that's okay.
I don't think so.
No, I'm just kidding. We tried to have.
No, we already had one class, and we're going to be doing the wingback.
Yeah,
right.
so a shellback and a wingback,
right,
back to back.
And then Michaela has a class also, so there's 3.
She's going to be doing something, yeah.
And Bernice is going to be asked
found a
back. We
chair
need
yet
to
for
use
that.
Bernice doing slip covers.
we need her more.
So by the time the fall comes around, the channel will be hopping again, and so will the
So we
online
see
classes.
when
I think
the
we're in a summer break a little bit here.
Yeah, the cooler weather comes in,
Yeah.
and people will be inside more.
I think that might be our schedule from now on. I think
Yeah.
we'll try to
Starting, what,
release.
Labor Day?
I think we'll try to release the classes when the weather starts getting colder.
Right.
I know some in Florida they don't have that problem, but
Well, I wouldn't wait too long. I
No,
think
no.
comes fall, comes September-ish,
yeah.
the classes, and then by then I think most of the wingback should be done. They have to, you'll have at least that go into,
Yeah.
So, Patrick, do you
Randy
have-
says, Kevin, your sewing machine self-oiling.
Who said that?
Randy.
It's self-oiling, yeah, it's a Juki. Best way to go, because the oil doesn't touch the fabric.
And how often do you change the oil?
I'd like to say I change it, but it hasn't been changed. I got to do it. He brings up a good point. It should be changed probably once a year, I'd say, but I haven't done it in a while. I should look into that. So, Jimmy, Patrick, is that it for the comments?
Yep, I think so.
So keep your finger near the editor, because we're going to have Jimmy
The beep.
close this out. So get the funny face blur and the beep noise ready, because Jimmy, you want to focus the camera on Jimmy? And
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you for coming to our humble abode this week and listening to Kevin for another week. God bless you all for that.
It zoomed right in, Jim.
Zoom right in, baby. Yeah, we're zoom right in on Kevin. But hopefully, we will be back next week, and we will try to enlighten you a little bit more on the tips and the pros and the cons of upholstery, and we'll talk a little more.
There's cons?
Well, actually, I won't be here next week. So,
Oh, you will. We'll be here.
yeah, you guys will be here. I
Yeah.
will be on vacation next week.
Well, sounds good. Thanks,
Yeah, so
everybody.
everyone, have a good week.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks, Jimmy.